Hello and welcome to this next video that I'm going to do today, which is going to be a short one in comparison to others. This is actually take two. I actually did film this video, and I'm going to let you know actually of what I did wrong. I did actually turn the microphone on. There you go. One for the blooper reel. So here we go again. Royal pythons. This is what the video is going to be about. Royals, also known as ball pythons, for their behaviour, how they sit. They sit in a ball quite a lot of their time, whether it's in a hide or in a burrow out in the wild. That's how they sit. Out in the wild, they'll sit in a burrow of some sort, an underground hide, and they'll wait for their prey to come along and bang, they'll get them. Where they come from is the western central areas of Africa, countries like Ghana, Togo, Sudan, those sort of countries there. So more the west area, central of Africa, that's where you'll find them. They're a non-venomous constrictor snake. So what that means is they don't have any venom whatsoever. They're constrictors. They crush their prey. That's what they do. They hit with a lot of power, coil around them, I should say, coil around them, and crush their prey, deprive them of air. And then, yes, they do have fangs, but it's more at the rear of their mouths. The lower jaw separates. So think about it, just goes like that to open up, to allow the mouth to open up wider, and they pull in their prey. They walk up their prey to pull it into their mouths. That's what their fangs do. I do apologise if you're having a lunch, breakfast while I'm saying this, but that's exactly what they do. They actually walk up. And with these particular snakes, these royal pythons, they're not large by any means of the rest of the pythons genuses. They grow to a maximum length of 6 foot. That's the max. Very rarely you'll see one at 6 foot. The females primarily are larger than the males for obvious reasons, for breeding. Also, with royal pythons, with their behaviour side of things, they tend to favour mammal burrows, and as I said, underground hides, something where they can feel their surroundings, so they feel secure. And then once they do that, they actually wait when they're out in the wild for their prey. They don't spend too much energy. The energy goes into the strike. That's where the energy primarily goes. And they will hit their prey, as I said, wait for the prey to come on, hit them and devour them. In captivity, they're very placid actually, very easy to handle. There's been discussions, are they a beginner snake, are they not? They are and then they're not, due to the fact that they can be fussy when it comes to their food. That's probably the biggest area that people panic at. If you were to go onto online forums, anywhere discusses about them, you'll always see a post of someone panicking, my royal's not eaten for so many weeks, so many months. It is a cause for concern. So this is where you need to have your wits about you, you need to know your snake, and you need to know about them. So what I suggest to do when you do have a royal is monitor and keep a note of their weight. Invest in some scales. They won't sit for you properly, but if you get them in a nice sized bowl on the scales, you can get an idea of their weight. And if they do stop eating, you weigh them and make sure that there's no weight loss. If there is detrimental or severe weight loss, get them to a vet ASAP. There's an underlying issue. That's what I would suggest. So apart from that, the other side of things that would be really important in keeping a raw python is the temperature. With where they come from in Western Central Africa, they are in the humid parts, I'd say, I can't actually say it really properly, the humid areas of Western Central Africa, more tropical areas for humidity. So, because they're not able to regulate their body heat whatsoever, so they need that higher temperature, the humidity as well, to help with that. Also with shedding, they need that. So temperatures that they look at is around about the 90 degrees Fahrenheit and above, with a more cooler at night temperature of around about 75 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's what you want in your enclosure. You want a hot end of around about 90, 92 on the hot end, and you want a cool end around about 78. And again, I think I've mentioned this before in my previous videos, you don't have to be exact. As long as you're around those particular temperatures there, you'll be fine. As long as you know that you've got around about 90, 92, 91, even 89 or 88, you're going to be fine. And same with the cool end. So how you create that is, it's many people have different methods. The methods that I use is I have a heat mat. I think many actually use a heat mat first of all. I use a heat mat with a heat mat guard. So what happens is I'm protecting my raw pythons from any burns. Because if you just put a heat mat in your enclosure, in your vivarium, and then nothing on top of that to protect apart from the substrate, you're going to possibly have burns on your raw python. So I have a heat mat guard, and then I also have on the coolant I have an infrared bulb, and I also have a ceramic heat emitter as well. So that's how we've got the temperatures there. And also I use for substrate, I use cocoa husk. I've mentioned this also previously for Buddy, my water dragon. For me, the best substrate for helping with humidity really is very easy. And if any is digested, it can be passed, which is fantastic. All you have to do is get yourself like a garden sprayer, fill it up with water, allow that to sit for at least 12 to 24 hours, and then you can spray in your enclosure to help the humidity. What you're looking for is around about 80%. But here is the downside. Be careful with the humidity part and spraying. You don't want to be doing it every moment of the day, or even how should I put it, like even every day. It just depends actually. If you invest in a hygrometer, that will help you in terms of humidity. But too much watering, too much humidity can cause scale rot on the underneath part of them. So just be careful of that, be very wary of that. That's something you don't want, because once that happens, it's very hard to actually pull them back from that and get them back to being well. It will kill, scale rot will actually kill, it just eats away at the scales and death occurs, fortunately. So be careful on that side of things. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you my raw pythons. I'll start off with Sid. We'll go through a few details about them as we go along here. Hi there guys, so here we have Sid, and Sid is approximately, I got him in 2017, so he's 4 years old, but he's not the length or even the weight of a 4-year-old raw python, due to the fact that Sid did what I mentioned earlier. He fasted for a very long period of time when he was young. This stunted his growth, so he fasted for 9 months. So you can imagine my panic when this happened, when he actually fasted. I'm just gonna let you see his head. There you go. There we go. Sid's not one for allowing you to touch his head as well, actually. He doesn't like that. But I can get as close as I can, but doesn't like it too much. As I say, he's not the size that he should be, but he loves a multi-mammoth now. That's what he eats. And I'm not going to be using him for breeding purposes or anything like that. He's just purely my pet. And aren't you? Yeah. As you see, for a normal face, he's got the black with the, would you say green or brown? It depends on what people think. I tend to think green. That's, as you can see, I'm just supporting him. I'm not squeezing. As you can see, my fingers are open. I'm just allowing him to move. And you can see his tongue popping in and out. And he's just processing that information. What happens is the tongue goes into the roof of their mouths and it sends a signal to the brain and tells them the information like temperature, where things are, like mapping out their surroundings, everything. It's amazing how they actually process things, process information. Yeah, exactly. I'll show you the spurs actually on the rear end of raw pythons. That's what they use for breeding, for hooking on. So the male will use what's called spurs on the bum part. I'm not sure if I can actually show you this on with Sid too much. I'm not sure you can see that there. There's around about 2 spurs, and the male's ones will be larger, and they will hook onto the females, and that's how they breed. That's a way of sexing your raw pythons. It's a rough estimate really, it's not accurate. Another way is males can be semi-arboreal. What that means is they will climb up branches, they will climb up certain, not so high areas, but they will climb up bushes and things like that in the wild, or as I say, branches. If you have branches in your enclosures, they will climb up that. So that's what males will do. Females don't do that at all. The most accurate way is probing. And again, don't do this unless you know exactly what you were doing. Probing is where a probe is inserted into the anus, and what it's saying is what's called popping is actually done to see whether a female or male. Get an expert to do this if you're not unsure about this procedure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Monty in a moment or two, just to promote as well. In between here, I'm going to put Sid back in his enclosure. After that, I'm going to immediately wash my hands. This is very, very important that you do that. If you have a couple of different snakes, reptiles, always wash your hands so that you're promoting hygiene, but also you're not passing any mites or anything like that to any other of your pets. Okay, so 2 seconds and I will be back. Yeah, guys, so this is Monty. Here's a close-up. Monty is a vanilla pied royal python. So if you see, Monty's a different colour from Sid. So his genes, depending upon who he breeds with, he could have very stunning offspring. I say he, not totally sure or 100% sure that Monty is a he. I suspect actually Monty's more female. Reason being is why I said actually, due to behaviours and also the spurs. I think I might be able to show you better with Monty, the spurs. Now, I don't know if you can see them there, but either side, just going to try and take my fingers out of the way. There we go. Can you see them on the camera? Either side. Yeah. Don't know if he liked that or not. He kind of flinched for that one, or her. But Monty has been known to be kind of a semi-arboreal, so it's unclear. It's not 100%, but not something that I'm worried about. Again, that's why I say, unless you're actually going to be going to breeding, there's not really a lot of point. Doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. Again, Monty, this is the size really, or roughly the size that Sid should be, because Monty's not 4 years old, he's over 4 years old, he's actually 6 years old, and currently thriving. There is a lovely story that I'm going to talk about right now, because this is important. When you have a raw python and you have their enclosure, please make sure it is secure, because they are escape artists. They are Houdinis. This happened earlier this year with Monty. He was in his other enclosure that he had, and unfortunately he found a way. He actually pulled an air vent inwards. Now, as you see, no arms, nothing like that, but he managed to do that. They will find ways, and he did this, and he escaped, or she escaped, one and two, 4 days. 4 days. I was frantic. Turned this place upside down, and I almost given up hope when 11:30 on a Monday night I heard a noise coming from the kitchen, and there Monty was emerging from behind units, actually cooker unit, which is all built in, but I think I must have disturbed something that allowed Monty to re-emerge. But when they do escape, just to give you some help, they will always go for, firstly, somewhere where they feel is enclosed. They will never go somewhere that's open. That's not their style. That's not how they operate. They like to feel secure. Otherwise they feel threatened. Also somewhere where it's warm. So the first place is to check if you do have an escapee is behind radiators, and then move on from there. But anywhere enclosed. And thankfully Monty come back, and he got a new home as a result that is more secure. That is for sure. He's in what is called Alcatraz now, as we call it in my family. So that is Monty. Currently on a 4-month fast as well, but not lost any weight. So as I say, invest in some scales and weigh, and make sure there's no underlying issues. So that's pretty much the video here today. What I would say is I just want to thank you first of all for watching. Also, please subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button as well, please, if you like the video. And drop us some comments. You got any questions, or if you want any information about something that's not been said in today's video, just drop it in the comments. I'd love to interact with you all. That's the point of the channel. I want to interact with you all, and I'm very pleased so far of how the channel is going. Absolutely fantastic. So those who have already watched the videos, thank you very much for that there. I really do appreciate that. So I think this one's going to want to go back in his hide now, in his tank, sorry. So again, thank you very much, and I will see you all next time.